Okay, I do believe we are once again live. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Yankees Uncivil War Chat. If you've never been here before, this is just a conversation between myself and my viewers, and other viewers, because y'all can talk amongst yourselves in the live chat. Sorry I'm a little late. I just got home. I was planning on doing the chat from down there, but got out of my doctor's appointment earlier than I thought I was going to. So I made it back in almost in time, and would have made it back in time if I hadn't had to go to the bathroom when I got up here, or if we hadn't got behind someone doing 10 miles an hour under the speed limit all the way up the mountain, and you can't pass until mile 7 all the way up the mountain. And they were doing like 25 all the way up. But I am here now. So welcome. And if you've got a question or a topic you want me to discuss, question you want me to answer, topic you want me to discuss, put it in the live chat, type at the Yankee Marshall before you put your question or topic, just like it says under my picture here. That way I know the question or topic is for me, and I will try to answer it. I will try to get to all of them. If I cannot, I apologize. If you've got something you definitely want answered, or you just want to contribute to the channel, to the Pets and the Vets programs and everything else the channel does, you can just do a super chat. That money goes to help support the channel. Also, if you donate $4.99 or more to the Pets and Vets program, you get an entry in the friend drawing, which means you get to have a little gift certificate in your name that you can spend wherever you want. You can buy several $100s worth of crawfish from the farmer's market or whatever, for all I care. Or you can buy something that goes bang from Grab a Gun, or your local gun shop, or wherever. I don't care. It's your gift certificate. You spend it.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
It's because I'm not talking to you. But what else was I going to say? I think I've said everything, haven't I? If you donate, you get an entry in the friend drawing, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's all of it. I'm not too with it right now. I'm not feeling well. Feeling a little better than I felt yesterday. I didn't throw up on the way back up the hill today, so that's good. My shoes have gone unvomited on. At one point, I thought I might, but I didn't, so that was good. But let's go over here and see if there's any questions coming in, or any topics. Hunting, fun, shooting for my question on what's a good surplus rifle for a first-time buyer. Like I say, I can't tell you what the good surplus rifle for you is. That's going to be up to you to look and see what you want. If you're going to want to hunt with it, you're probably going to want something bolt action, maybe something clip fed, So it'll be up to you. Just like you can't come to me and say, what's the best carry gun? I'm not going to know for you. Feinstein has announced she'll be introducing an assault weapons ban bill in several weeks. Well, tell her good luck with that. She can introduce it all she wants. It ain't going to pass through the Senate. Why is Beretta so slow at making changes to the M9 series, like a 357 SIG or 10 millimeter versions? Because they have no intention of doing either of those things. It's not slow. It's just they have no intention of it. Feeling better? A little better, not good. You feeling better today? A little better, not good. Are you on the left internet? Yes, I am on the left internet. Are you on the good internet? Yes. Do you have stomach virus? No, I don't have a stomach virus. They think it's probably a reaction to my statin drug. They may have to change it to another one. I'm going to try it for a couple more days and see how things go, because apparently those statins can cause vertigo and all this other stuff. But sometimes it only happens for the first few days and then it goes away. So we'll see. We will see. It's not fun every time you stand up the room and stuff. I slept yesterday most of the day. I slept up until time for my chat after I got back yesterday, and then I did my chat, and then I went and laid back down, and I slept until about midnight. I got up at midnight, watched a couple hours of television, and then went back to bed. I didn't get up till this morning. Just picked up my first Beretta, a 92A1. What's the easiest trigger upgrade? Well, they're all pretty easy. There's not a hard thing to do on a Beretta. The best upgrade you can do is change the hammer spring, which will make the trigger lighter. Depending on which one it is, it comes with anything from a 16-pound to a 20-pound hammer spring. I think most of them nowadays come with the 16-pound, unless it's a little bit older gun, then it can come with the 20-pound. Get yourself a 14-pound, 13-pound hammer spring. That'll be the easiest change and make the most difference in the trigger. And then, maybe get you a Wilson Combat trigger spring to replace the little coiled spring thing in there, little wrap spring thing in there. Maybe get you a Langdon tactical trigger bar, a short reset trigger bar. That would be awesome. Why do you believe it wouldn't pass the Senate? Because who's going to vote for it? There's Democrats that won't vote for it, so it ain't going to pass the Senate. That was last time they passed an assault weapons bill, they got slaughtered right afterwards, and I mean slaughtered in the midterms. They ain't going to do that again. Hello, can anyone help me on where to get started with building a Beretta 92FS? I want to build it up from the ground. Well, they don't make aftermarket Beretta part frames and slides, so I don't know how you're going to build it from the ground up. You have to be careful with the 92A1. It's built on the 96A1 frame, so not all parts are compatible with 92A parts. That's mainly just parts that go all the way through the gun, like the takedown lever and stuff like that. The trigger spring will still be the same. The hammer spring will still be the same. All that stuff will still be the same. It's just stuff that has to go the breadth of the gun all the way across it that are different. Like if you buy a laser guide rod for the 92 series guns and try to put it in a 92A1, it won't work because the frame is a little wider. So since it replaces the takedown lever, it's not long enough. I have 3 ARs, all in 226.56 and 2 CZ handguns 9mm. What would you suggest to get next? A 357 Magnum revolver. What types of slides can you put on the 92FS? Pretty much any slide they make, except for the ones made for the 92. Oh God, damn. The 92A1 and the 96A1. Those don't go on the other frames. There are no kits where the frame receiver is alone. Nope, not that I've ever seen. Pulling from your history and mental science, can you explain why people are attacking Asian people in California? It's all about that. I'm better than somebody and I got to blame somebody. And, just because I can't do, I have no power, at least I have a reason now to take violence out on these people. It's all about basically social impotence and anger. That's it. That's it for the questions. We're done, which means I can go lay down. It doesn't pick up in the next, so let's give it 5 minutes. If it ain't flowing well in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go lay down. Is there any people here? Well, there's like 250 people here. Not a lot of people, but there's few. So can you put one of the LTT slides on the 92FS as well? Yes. Chris said, later, everyone. Later. Sent you an email. Yeah, I got it pulled up here. The picture never downloaded yet, though. Okay, there it came. Here, I'll show you this. He put his star grips into the rubber part of a Smith & Wesson grip here. The star emblem. Hold on, where's share screen? Application window. There we go. Come on, share it. I don't like you can't double tap anymore. You actually have to hit share. He put him some into his Smith & Wesson grips, into the rubber part. Let's see here. Danny says, I'm here and donated to the Pets and Vets Fund. Just bought a CZ P01 steel frame, $7.99. I guess that's a good price on them. I don't think that's inflated or anything. So now that's a good price. Is Ruger currently making Blackhawks? I've been looking for a 357 convertible for months, but haven't found any in stock. I don't know if they're concentrating on their Blackhawks right now. They're single action guns at all. I don't know what they're concentrating on right now. Probably more their polymer guns, the ones that are selling out real fast. Go lay down and rest. We will survive without you until you're back on top shelf. Well, if like I said, if things don't pick up the next few minutes, I'll just go lay down. I mean, we do this every day. I kind of just didn't want to break my streak of doing it every day. So even if I'm here for 20 minutes, I think it makes that I didn't break my streak. What barrel length do you recommend for Smith & Wesson 686 for revolver for carrying? 3 or 4, whichever one you prefer, 3-inch or 4-inch. What first got you interested in firearms? I just grew up around them. So Robert Kennedy, I'm also currently on station as well. Pets and Vets, said Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy was our previous friend of the month. Now it's Clovertac. We're just going to pretend this month never happened. Although Clovertac did donate his prize to a charity auction for, I believe, a youth shooting group in his home state. Which is surprising since gingers don't have souls, but he did something nice. Have you heard of the Core PRS? Would it make a good carry gun? Is it more a range gun because of its internals? I don't really have a lot of experience with them, but it's such an expensive gun. I don't think I would carry it. But Dave Glick says, me and Jiminy are here, Pets and Vets. Jiminy Glick. That was from David Glick. Joshua Rhodes says Gamora versus Godzilla. Gamora is the giant turtle. Like, you have to tell me who Gamora is. Gamora is how you spelled it, Gamora, but it's Gamora. Because Gamora is the green lady in the Infinity Watch. Gamora is a giant turtle. So in a fight between Gamora and Godzilla, Godzilla would win. Godzilla's king of the monsters. Gamora is not. Even though Gamera can fly. Florida Highway Patrol also donated and said, how is the pro 2A community winning court battles in their favor if they are not the majority? Because the law's on our side. The Second Amendment is pretty clear. So when they pass things that are actually infringements on the Second Amendment, they don't tend to stand up too well in court. So that's why a lot of things have been overturned. That's why we got the big rulings in Washington, D.C. and everything else. It's because until the Second Amendment is changed, the certain things are a certain way. There is no doubt, even in the most liberal court's eyes, that they can't make anything stand that is an actual infringement on your ability to own a firearm, keep and possess firearms. They only disagree on like what things don't really consist of an infringement. Like, this is just because you can't carry it around all day, is that an infringement? Or just because you got to go through a test, is that an infringement? And that's what they disagree on. As long as the Second Amendment's there, they have to squabble over those things because they can't just do things that blatantly infringe on your rights. That's why we win in the courts. Robert Kennedy, I want a redraw. I believe I am still the current friend of the month. No, we've never had one for 2 months in a row. I don't think there's any rules against it, since I make the rules. But we've never had someone win 2 months in a row. I don't think we've ever had anyone win twice. Danny says, there's a stray cat that comes around my house that I feed. Notice she had a hematoma on her ear, so I had it removed. Think I'm going to keep her. Well, yeah, if you've already had her take it to the vet, you might as well just keep it. It's going to stay around anyway now, so it's going to stay anyway. Might as well, if you're taking care of her. Did I miss anything while I was answering super chats? I like Mothra. I always thought Mothra was kind of lame as a kid, but the Mothra that was in the movies is a lot better than the Mothra that was in the TV show. And even Mothra got killed, and her little larvae are the ones that had to fight in the end. Glenn Campbell versus John Denver. In a fist fight, Glenn Campbell. On average, it takes 1 second to draw, 0.56 seconds to decide to shoot, and 0.31 seconds to fire. This is 1.87 seconds. Tuller says you can be stabbed in 1.5 seconds from 21 feet. Yeah, that's an old parable, basically, for the gun community. It's full of a lot of assumptions. A lot of assumptions. How much did 5.56 cost in the before times? I don't even remember. It's been so long since I bought 5.56. Where do people get trade-in police guns? Usually they're dealers or online, like some sort of online shop that gets a bunch of them in. Did I read that one? I did. I read that. That's about the stray cat. I grew up 45 minutes from West Virginia, and yeah, pretty much everyone had guns, well, except the druggies. Yeah, when I grew up, most everybody had rifles. Very few people had handguns. Handguns were very rare. It was odd to see a handgun, actually. If you saw a handgun, it was usually like a Saturday night special or someone who had a big revolver for hunting or shoot competition shooting, like at the range or something. But handguns were rare. Usually, if someone had a handgun, you assumed, oh, they must be law enforcement or something. But everybody had rifles and shotguns. But the age of people carrying handguns around, we're really in the golden age of that. That is not the way it was when I was younger. Who's starting up their motorcycle outside? Someone's taking off out there. Oops, where did I go? Would a P320 compact and 45 be a good excuse? 9 rounds. What do you mean a good excuse? Be a good gun. I don't know about excuse for what. I don't think you need an excuse to buy it if that's what you're saying. Who would win in a fight to the death, Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift? Oh, Miley Cyrus in a second. And Pink would whip both their asses. Pink whip them both at the same time. That bitch is strong. Seen those Adage videos, what she did with her music videos, where she does all the Adage stuff? That bitch is strong. Filed the paperwork to rescue a SIG P226 from a Tennessee orphanage. I'm sure it will get along fine with my SP 2022. Ooh, I don't know about that. But I am worried about the P320. P320 might get mad and go off on its own. I don't know about getting along with the 2022. I'm surprised the P320 gets along with the 2022 because the P320 kind of made the P2022 not sell well anymore. So I'm surprised that they get along. What would be your apocalypse handgun? What kind of apocalypse? Zombie apocalypse or just regular old apocalypse? Because if it's just a regular old apocalypse, I'll just take myself a nice Smith & Wesson 686 Plus or 586. I take the 686 Plus because it's stainless and would require less care. That would be my zombie apocalypse, my regular apocalypse gun. If it was a zombie apocalypse, I'd want something lower caliber, higher capacity, so that I could pop zombies in the head more, and I'd want a suppressor. Do you still do desk pops? Every now and then. Every now and then. I ain't doing one today because my ears are all wonky and I'm having vertigo. So not going to be shooting any guns right now. I wouldn't even go out to the range and shoot right now because I don't have a dizzy spell while I'm shooting. And I only have them when I stand up. So I got to stand up to shoot. Or else I can take my chair down there and just shoot down there in a chair. I've thought about putting a lounge chair down there to shoot out of just because I don't feel like standing up. I sometimes do sit on a stool. I used to have a stool down there I'd sit on when I shot because my back would start to hurt. I want to adopt a dog. Would like a pit, but wife has 4 cats, and I'm worried about getting a dog that does not like cats. Any recommendations? Yeah, get a young dog or get one that they say does well with cats. They usually say in the listings for the rescues, like does well with cats, or it's a young dog, blah, blah, blah. Young dogs usually have no problems with cats. Turnip had no problem with our cats. He loves our cats. He tries to get them play with him, and they'll play. One of them will play with him. Maisie just smacks him in the face, and he runs away. Is there anything different on Inox Berettas besides the finish? Not really, no. It's just that the frame is still aluminum and it's coated silver, and the slide is stainless instead of carbon steel. That's the difference. And the barrels are stainless. But on some newer Berettas, the barrels are stainless anyway, even if they're black. Did you have to learn mathematics before working for the state police? Well, back when I went in, you had to have a GPA of a certain high, you had to be a high school graduate. You had to have a GPA of a certain level. You had to have an associate degree if you wanted to go into a certain thing. And I had an associate degree at the time. Luckily, I got my associate degree as I was finishing high school because I did half a day every day over at the community college the last 4 years all 4 years of college. So it was the requirements were a little different back then. So I mean, and every degree requires math. I've never seen a degree that doesn't require math at some level. And I had to take chemistry, so I had to have algebra and trigonometry too. So, which I hated chemistry. That's my least favorite class ever was chemistry. I have never struggled. I mean, I'm not saying this to brag. I never struggled in a class unless it was a lot of busy work and I didn't have time for it. But as far as the material, learning it, I never struggled. But chemistry, struggled. I struggled my ass through chemistry to get a C, because it was it's the one C on my college record. We got a super chat coming in from Robert Kennedy. When it comes to a 2011 A2 manufacturers, Pair Ordnance, STI, RIA, are these magazines really interchangeable? I don't know if they're interchangeable or not. I don't know. They might be, they might not be. I haven't ever compared them between this. I'm only one of those I've ever owned is a, well, there's no STI anymore. It's called Staccato now, but that's the only one I've ever actually owned. I did have a double stack Warthog. Now, I know those magazines wouldn't be interchangeable, but I never really considered that a 2011 because it was out way before 2011. And two, it was just a double stack little 1911. But I know those would not interchange. So I don't know that any of them do interchange. I don't know. It's not like, I don't know if it's like 1911s where magazines will fit most any other gun as long as they're the same, size. And then you'd only run into problems of them not going in if you had like a compact magazine and a full-size frame. It wouldn't go in far enough to engage. But even if it was a full-size mag and a compact frame, it'd still go in, just wouldn't go in all the way. You're wrong. I would insist on a 2-on-1 and they would both overpower me. Oh, you mean against you? With Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus? Miley Cyrus, you're probably going to catch something. You're going to catch whatever Liam Hemsworth had. What is going on out there? Hold on. I got to go see what the fuck's going on. It sounds like someone's moving the truck. My son's friend Emmett is here now. So there's 3 of them here now. That's his dad backing his trailer up so he can unload his 4-wheeler. Just saying hello before going to bed. It's 3 a.m. and I'm not getting any younger. 3 a.m. Where the fuck's it 3 a.m. at? Crossbow or compound bow for zombies? I would rather have a compound bow. Crossbows take too long to load. You can load a compound bow a lot quicker than a crossbow. Crossbow is just too slow. Although I want a crossbow because Daryl has one. Would you carry a Beretta Cheetah? I definitely would. They're an awesome gun. If I was going to carry a 380, I would definitely carry a Cheetah. You missed my super chat. Hold on, I gotta. It's just right there. I just now haven't got to it. Just chill out. Jeez, people. I want a P365, but I can only find Hellcats. What should I do? But wouldn't mind a Hellcat. Well, if you wouldn't mind a Hellcat, get a Hellcat. If you can find them and you like them, get one. Unless it's going to be like, well, I didn't really want this. I really wanted the P365. Well, then wait for the P365. But if you would be just as happy with the Hellcat, get the Hellcat. It's better to have the gun than not have it. And then maybe later you can buy 365 also. My shoes bothering me. I had to wear different shoes today because I threw up on my other ones yesterday. So I had to wear the Pumas today. Oh, you can't see that. The Pumas. Oh, that wasn't a good idea. That upset my stomach. Whew. Just got here. Feeling better? Not really. As long as I don't stand up, I feel fine. Especially if I don't stand up suddenly or walk around. Spud gun. My partner of 9 years died this morning. I'll miss my little mad hippie chick. Only 55. Don't know how I'll live without her. For the pets and vets. F the world. Ugh, that sounds horrible. 9 years. Oof. Only 55. When the fuck happens at 55? I hope it wasn't at that age, it's usually an accident or something, or a hidden medical issue that people didn't even know about. Oof, that's about my age, and I ain't feeling well. You're making me nervous. But that's very sad. Very, very sad. That was from Spud Gun. 9 years is not a long time. I can't imagine what it's going to be like one of us dies. 28 years together right now, and it'd hopefully be longer than that by the time one of us dies. I've been making fun of them all day because they had to go get special glasses so they can see now, because they have to get those prism lenses because they were having double vision because they got the wonky eyes. They couldn't drive until they went and got them. I had to do all the driving. So I had to go get them today from the 1 hour place, the Lens Crafters. $500 for a pair of glasses because they got them fucking special prism lenses so that you don't get double vision when you got the wonky eye. I think that's the clinical term for it, the wonky eyes. Have you ever owned a Rossi revolver? Are they any good? I have owned them. Some of the older ones are fairly decent. I don't know about the new ones so much. I would just get a Taurus if it came to it. When it comes to 2011 A2 manufacturers, oh, I read that, didn't I? I'm going on an Alaskan hiking trip this summer. It's a good excuse to splurge on a new hiking gun. Contenders are 10 millimeter 1911, Glock 20, Rhino 40DS. Thoughts or other suggestions? Ruger 454 Casull, Alaskan. That would be my number one choice in a chest rig. That's what I usually use. We're all talking handguns here, so 44 Magnum Blackhawk, something like in that range. That would probably be my best selections. Or maybe a Smith & Wesson 329. Lightweight, easy to carry, 6 shots of 44 Magnum. It won't bog you down on your hike, and plus it'll be shooting 44 mags out of a 4-inch barrel. It'll be incredibly devastating to whatever you're shooting at. In fact, I think that'd be the one I go with. Some nice hard cast 44 mag or solid copper 44 mag in a Smith & Wesson 329 in a chest holster. And I saw that Alien Gear makes a chest rig. So maybe look at an Alien Gear chest rig. Oh. Armando Garza, why is Hollywood so hypocritical about guns when they make billions of gun-related movies? Well, because they like to make money and they know what people like to see. So that it's not the gun company, it's not the companies that make the movies I hear bitching so much. It's the actors. And as far as actors are concerned, I'm like, well, then don't be a hypocrite. Don't star in movies where you use a gun. And if Tom Cruise don't like guns, don't be in movies where you shoot guns. It's 3:30 a.m. in Afghanistan right now. Ugh. 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 Try to figure out where I'm at. I think I read that. My man's Wagon Brethren. I don't get that. The police will sometimes pretend that they are on your side as long as you don't commit a crime. Would you consider that to be manipulation? Well, not manipulation. I mean, I don't see why they would be. I don't understand that whole thing until you commit a crime. Once you commit a crime, they shouldn't be on your side. Unless you're talking like they act like they'll support us. If there ever comes a rebellion, they'll support us, and then don't. Well, no, they won't. They will not. They've shown that historically that they won't. The police aren't out to save us. They're out to protect themselves. Danny Hill, funny video I thought you might like. It's got a pug in it. I can see. Let's see. Oh, trimming the nails. I go through that myself. Turnip does the dramatic thing. He does the passing out. He'll fight you, and if you don't let him win, he'll like he passed out. Why do you think Smith & Wesson discontinued the Night Guard series, but still sells the 329 PD? I wish I could buy a 386 plus 4-inch. Yeah, me too. I wish they'd bring those back. I wish they would bring those back. Zombie, someplace high, and a sharp metal spike. Well, yeah, you definitely never underestimate a pointy stick when it comes to the zombie apocalypse. It's like the other night when the Walking Dead's first episode, which was, by the way, horrifically bad for anyone who's wondering. Horrifically bad. They managed to somehow both do absolutely nothing for the whole episode and make a horrifically bad episode while they're doing it. Like some guy who gets shot with an arrow in his hip and stabbed in the chest, and he acts like, I'm not, this doesn't faze me. I'm a tough guy. I'm just like, oh, so fucking bullshit. They managed to make, like I said, where nothing happened, yet it somehow was still really horrible. Nice face diaper in your thumbnail. Yeah, you go to the doctors and see what happens. I'm considerate of other people. I don't have a problem putting on a mask to protect other people from me. You might be a dick, not be that way, but I'm not a dick. You might be like those people that are mad about Dr. Seuss. They're censoring Dr. Seuss. Like my sister the other night. Biden is censoring Dr. Seuss books. I'm like, Biden isn't censoring Dr. Seuss books. The government had nothing to do with that. And no school district did either. It was the actual manufacturers of the Dr. Seuss books, the people who owned the rights to it, said, we are not going to republish these books anymore. In case you're wanting to order them, we're not republishing these ones anymore because of the racial content in them. So just so you know, that's like 4 books or something like that. These ones will not be republished. And that's all it was. No government intervention, no one voting to outlaw the books, nothing of that. The manufacturer themselves making a decision that they aren't going to produce that product anymore. I guess the people on the right have a real big issue with the free market and with capitalism because they want to force a company to do what they want them to do. Got a super chat coming in. Gallo Negro. Do you think 357 SIG hollow points are better than Full Metal Jacket for self-defense? Trying to see what is more important, either penetration or expansion. Well, when you're doing 357 Magnum, hollow points are fine for self-defense or solid coppers, depending on whether you want to get through hard barriers or not. But it's going to expand fine. It's not going to be short on power or anything, so you'll be just fine with either one. Depends on what you want. Do you think when you evaluate your world, which of these things do you think is more likely to happen to you? You're walking along, someone jumps out of the bushes, and you end up having a shootout with each other face to face, or you end up in a situation where someone's shooting from a car, or you're in the car and someone starts shooting, etc. Way you feel which one of those is more likely to happen to you. 357, that's a perfect number for what we're talking about right now. 357 years. Whichever one of those you think is more likely for you would help you decide what type of ammo to carry. No one should pay $900 for the new Hellcat RDS. The modifications they made aren't worth an extra $300. I didn't even like the modifications. I'm like, why would you want those modifications on a small gun? Let's see. I thought your sister was a lefty. Do you have another who is super conservative? Oh, yeah, I have one that's real conservative and one that's real liberal. The one that's here is super lefty, and the one that's in Alabama is super righty. But you got to remember, she was raised by my father, who is super racist. So, and she's super racist. They claim they're not, but they very much are. The publishers of Dr. Seuss books are promoting fake racism. No, they're just saying some of the books that they have don't promote certain races in a good light in the books. They promote stereotypes, and they don't want to promote those stereotypes, so they're not going to, and they don't have to. If you can't handle that, then you have a problem with capitalism. The laws as when to use deadly force is authorized are written when the laws as to when deadly force is authorized are written the same. The only difference being is that the district attorney will charge you and not the cop. Well, they hardly ever charge cops, and if they do, they take them to the secret grand jury and never collect them. Wrong. Biden omitted the Dr. Seuss books from the Read Across America Day that was founded because of Dr. Seuss. Biden directly impacted the decision. Bullshit. Biden didn't even have anything to do with that. So fuck off. You're an idiot believing garbage. Biden doesn't even have a thing to do with any of that. That's not something the president does. You're a moron believing the Tucker Carlsons and all those assholes. They're telling you this bullshit. And you believe it without even researching it because you just want to believe it because either you're stupid or you're just an asshole or racist, maybe. Are you dying on us or are you going to stick around? Plan on sticking around, but we'll see. Do you think unfluted cylinder on a revolver can increase the weight and lower the recoil? It's minimal on the weight, and I wouldn't think it does much difference on recoil. And it doesn't make it stronger either. It just looks nice. I just like the way it looks. I doubt Biden makes any decisions on his own anymore. I'm sure he makes some, but that wouldn't be one of them. He wouldn't even have anything to do with that. And plus, that was set long before he ever even took office. So I don't see how they even can say that was Biden's fault. When if you look back to when that thing actually was set up and everything, it was being done well under the Trump administration. And Trump didn't have anything to do with it either. So how are you, Yankee? What's for dinner? Whatever they fucking make themselves, because I ain't standing up and cooking tonight. Whatever they fucking make themselves, good for them. They'll probably go down to the Mercantile. Yesterday, my two boys left and drove down and they had Taco Bell. They had Taco Bell. Check email subject movie poster. Oh, I don't see any. The subject movie poster. Well, I just now got my alert that I just went live, but I don't see anything that says movie poster. Something from security box. What's that about? Oh, it's the new little security box thingies. I don't have as much need for safes nowadays as I used to because I don't have any little kids in the house. When Caden was little, I definitely had to lock up my guns because Caden loved guns. And, don't trust little kids, period. Don't even trust like 14-year-olds. He's almost 17 now, so I'm like, he can be trusted. He's matured enough that I can trust him not to bother shit. So I can leave a gun laying on the table and no one touches it. Biden not mentioning Seuss in a speech is vastly different than actual government censorship. Yeah. Who wouldn't mention Dr. Seuss? Why would you feel the need to mention all the books? I said that was from Labby 2, who asked what's for dinner, right? He donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and got an entry into the friend drawing. I've noticed that Ruger GP100s have the front of the cylinder chamfered. Do you think this makes them easier to holster? It supposedly does. I don't know if I've ever had a problem with that, but supposedly does. Roy Warren also donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and says, looking for a quick CCW DAC or double action, single action. I have a 229, but it's just a bit big. 9mm also. Why does the thought of a Glock cocked and loaded for carry terrify me? Am I a sissy? Yeah, probably a little, but there's nothing wrong with that. We don't judge here. There's one of the guys in here wears women's underwear all the time. But not me, someone else. But if you want something double action, single action, and I hate to say it, there's that little Springfield that came out right before their Hellcat. It's a hammer fired gun, and it's a smaller hammer fired gun. You might want to look into that. I've answered this question a dozen times. Would you rather own a real lightsaber or a blaster rifle? Definitely a blaster rifle. Because I cut my fucking arms and legs off with a lightsaber. I would be dead in a minute with one of those. They'd be like, sloop, there go my head or my arm or something. I'd be like the Walrus Man. Friend of a friend needed some cash, so I bought a PM9 with green Viridian laser for $400. Felt a little guilty, but it went away. But it went away. They needed the money. It's not your fault they got themselves in a situation where they need the money. In those cases, when I do like I buy something from somebody like that they need the money or something, what I do is I'll give you first right of refusal. Meaning if I ever decide I'm going to sell it, you can buy it back for exactly what I paid you for it. And that's if I ever decide to sell it. Went to an LGS, looked at the P365 XL with red dot and the Hellcat. The only thing that I liked on the Hellcat was the big dot and the U-notch sights. And you can always change sights. Never buy a gun for the sights. That's like buying a house because it fits your couch. You know, you can get a new couch. She's like grandma, doesn't know her passwords. Oh, my son was when he was trying to get my sister to set her phone up yesterday. I had to go do it today because she couldn't get it set up. She does not do technology well, and she freaks out really easy. If she didn't freak out, she'd figure it out as she went along, but she freaks out and gets mad and starts screaming and yelling. And they hang up on her because she calls them all kinds of nasty names, and then they hang up on her, which I don't blame her today. I got so irritated with AT&T. They have the worst customer service. It took an hour and a half of being transferred, hung up on, transferred to the wrong department, hung up on, transferred to someone who didn't know what they were doing, then transferred to someone else, and then transferred to someone else, and then asking to speak to someone in America, and then getting hung up on. And it was just, it was horrible. It always is. Every time you know you're going to have to call AT&T wireless customer service, you're like, this is going to be a miserable hour and a half, period. But they still ain't got my watch to where it works on cellular. It just works if I have my phone with me or if I'm on Wi-Fi. So they're a pain in the ass. Would you tell your son to destroy a 1971 El Camino by running it over with a tank? Why would I tell my son that? The Springfield Armory is using the pandemic to justify overcharging for their new Hellcat model. I don't doubt it one bit. They are not a company that cares about the gun community or the Second Amendment. They care about profit, which is most of them. Keep that in mind. Most of them care more about profit, but Springfield has shown that to a greater degree than most, more blatantly. Let's just say that. I'll take an unfluted, pinned and recessed 686. I have an unfluted 686, but it's not pinned and recessed. Recessed I like. Pinned I really don't care about pinned. I mean, compression fit barrels are actually better than pinned, but as long as they're straight. But overall, they're actually fit better. That's why the pin has to be there, because they're not fit as well. They're just screwed in until they're right, and then they pin them. Whereas the compression fit barrels are fitted enough to where when they're totally tight, they're upright and straight. And if they're done right, that's actually better. Did I ever get the movie poster email? Nope, still no email entitled movie poster. Let me hit refresh and see if it maybe comes in. It says it's downloaded 79 new messages. Oh, God. There's 79 new messages downloading. Hopefully they're not mostly in this mailbox, because they could also be in the other mailbox. It's still doing it, just sitting there spinning. Got a super chat coming in from Michigan boy. I've never heard that name on here before. Maybe they changed their name. Yankee, looking to pick up my second revolver in 357 Magnum. Problem is, everything I'm looking at, I want 65% of them, how do I decide? This is just a frivolous purchase to scratch an itch. Well, you decide by just deciding which one you're getting first, is what I always say. That's all you can do, is decide which is the next one. That's not deciding between the three. It's just put them in a line to which one you buy when. And you just decide, which one is the most different from what I have. What is it you have now, and what are your options? And you don't have to do a super chat to put that. Just put it in, or just type out the Yankee Marshall first when you put it in there, and we'll see what we think should be the next one. Although I still can't tell you which one of those would be best for you, but I can tell you which one I would take. I was thinking that you would tell your son to do that if the El Camino was owned by a werewolf. I don't think most werewolves grab cars. I don't know if they even have cars. I don't think they get licenses. I don't think most of them are even citizens, to be honest. I think the most of them are born in like the woods and don't ever get a social security number or anything. So I think getting a license would be rare for them. I know you gave an FK Burno away, but do you see yourself ever owning another? Watched a video on it today. It's a pretty damn cool pistol. It's a very cool pistol. I would not have mind having 10 of them, to be honest, but they're expensive. Yankee drives a car. Yes, see, I drive a car. I'm not a werewolf. Now, you can be not a full-blood werewolf. You can be a hybrid. Like one of the ones that becomes a werewolf by being bit. Some werewolves are born, if a male and a female werewolf have a baby, that baby's a werewolf. Those are mostly born in the woods. The ones you have that have driver's license, that's because they had a license before they got bit. Sportsman's Warehouse isn't gouging too much. Today they had 9mm Aguila, 147 grain FMJ for $18.99, 50 round box. Well, that's because they're a chain, and their prices are set from corporate, and it's on a formula based on what it costs them to get it. And then, so if it just goes up 2% for their cost, it goes up 2% for retail. Oh, I wasn't going to buy, or like if it goes up 2% for cost, it'll go up like 2.2% for retail, because a percentage of the up price too. I wasn't going to buy the 365 or the Hellcat. Family member wanted my opinion on them. A Cimarron Schofield caught my eye, though, but it was 45 Colt wanting 38 special. Oh, why would you want that in 38 special? Get that in 45 Colt. I have seen where barrel is force pressured into the receiver, then they press the end of the receiver closed a little more to lock everything in place. I've never seen that before. On a compression fit barrel, they just make it to where the threading, to where when the barrel is like half a tick off of upright, it's completely screwed in, and then they do it like another half a tick, and that compression seals it to where it doesn't move. And they've also gone to a lot of 2-inch barrels, or not 2-inch, 2-piece barrels, where the barrel just slides on, and then the shroud slides on, and then the barrel screws into it and holds it in place, like a lot of the Smiths, like the lightweight Smiths and stuff are like that. Like what do you call it? The Chiappas are like that too. The barrel shroud just slides on, and then the barrel screws tight and holds it in place. It's got like little pegs that it pegs together and then tightens it down. Is there a lot of difference in terms of velocity and stopping power between a 3-inch and a 4-inch 6A6 revolver? Not really, no. Not much. Well, you said there would be no math. There's always math. The world is math. Life is math. Everything is math. Even when you're buying a gun, that's math. You have to figure out how much it costs, what's going to be with taxes, what's going to how much ammo is going to cost on it. That's math. How many times your wife's going to hit you, how many punches you can take before you bleed. Did Michigan boy ever tell us what he has and what the options were? I don't see it yet. The Schofields probably work better in 38 Special. 38 Special has a much more prominent rim than 45 Colt. The original Schofield cartridges had a more prominent rim like a 38 Special. Yeah, but they compensate for that when they make the 45 Colt ones. It works just fine. Pretty sure. I ain't never seen them, but I would want it in 45. Because I have a lot more 38 special brass bullets, ammo, etc. than 45 Colt. Well, then expand, dude. Don't put yourself in a hole. Expand, diversify. Let's see, where am I? Do you think a new Colt Anaconda would be a sign that the new Python has been a success? Yeah, it would be if they succeed with the new Python was a sign that the Cobra had been a success, which it had been, and the variants of the Cobra were a sign that it had been a success. And now, if the Python's a success, maybe we'll see some Anacondas, maybe some Diamondbacks, maybe some other snake guns. Got letter today on why I haven't activated my stimulus card. Got to call Monday and tell them I never got it. Oh, yeah. A card? Stimulus card? Got Rossi R92 44 mag. What you think? Well, I think you've got a Rossi 42 44 mag. I don't know what one of those is like, so I'd have to try it out. The guy who asked about the Michigan boy never did let me know what 357 Magnum he has and what ones he's looking at. A firearms class I attended in PA stated if you open carry, a police officer can charge you for brandishing a firearm and you'll lose your CCW license. Have you ever heard this? Well, do you not have open carry is not legal in your state? If open carry is not legal in your state, well, then probably that's true. I don't know about what the law is in Pennsylvania. That is Pennsylvania, right? PA. Let's see. Open carry. Legal. And PA got some weird laws. So open carry is legal in Pennsylvania without a license to carry firearms, except in cities of the first class, Philadelphia, and vehicles where license to carry firearms is required to do so. So you could open carry in Pennsylvania as long as you're not in Philadelphia. Let's see, where are we? We're almost done here. We got 3 minutes. I was hoping that guy would let me know what he had and what he was going to buy, what he was looking at. But I haven't heard from him. Oh, I never did get that movie poster subject. I don't know if you sent it to the right email address. Thought your sister was lefty. Nope, that's Carol. Misty's not. Misty's a righty. Misty Dawn is a righty. Hey, Yankee, shameless plug for Alan Gottlieb's organizations, worthwhile and definitely grassroots. Spud Gun says she went to the hospital 31st December with COPD and pneumonia. Oh, that's not good. 2 months in hospital, spoiled her rotten when she got out and found her dead this morning. At least she died at home. It is awful. That's like one of the worst things people can live through. Unless it turns out like on a TV movie of the week or something that you did it. But other than that, that's one of the worst things you can live through. Philadelphia is a terrible place. That's where Always Sunny is. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. How can it be terrible? That's where they come from. That's an awesome place. Do you like 44 mag and lever guns? Yes. I want the Marlin one. The one my son has the 387 Magnum version. I want the 44 mag version for me. What do you prefer between the Beretta M9 and the Glock 19? The Beretta M9. Sometimes there's a fine line between open carry and brandishing. I would not want to have my gun on the grip of my gun in a public or open carry states. Yeah, you wouldn't want to put your hands on the grip, but brandishing requires that you're intentionally trying to intimidate someone. It's an act of violence. You have to be trying to intimidate someone, otherwise it's not legally brandishing. I own a Smith & Wesson SD9VE, but I am looking for a better carry pistol. Any suggestions? I don't want a Glock. Well, then I'd have to have some more information than that because there's too many things. We can sit here and go through 100 different guns. Excuse me. Iowa is working on passing constitutional carry, but at the same time trying to pass voting restriction laws at the same time. I guess they only care about certain parts of the Constitution. Do American police shoot dogs a lot? I feel it's always in the news. They tend to, yes. Sam of Anarchy, Beretta PX4 Storm. That's an awesome gun. That'd be a good carry gun for that person who didn't want to buy a Glock just a second ago. It'd also be a good one for the person earlier that, wanted double action, single action, but didn't want something. Was it smaller than what they were wanting? I can't remember. I enjoyed visiting the historic buildings in Philadelphia. Yeah, that's fun. It's kind of nice to have it's the closest thing we got to a lot of history in this country. When you go overseas and you're like, here in this country, when you see a building, it's like, this building's 200 years old. You're like, oh my God, this is old building. And you go overseas and 200 is like the newer buildings. It's like, this building was built when the Roman Empire was. You're like, oh. Time to carry a Mac 11 as personal defense weapon. I don't know if I'd do that. Carry open a Derringer as medallion on a big stainless neck chain, and nobody will notice. Or get one that's in a belt buckle. They got the belt buckle ones. I wonder if they could put one like this in a belt buckle. It'd have to be one of those big cowboy belt buckles, but put this in a belt buckle. You can wear it. That'd be kind of cool. Or you just popped it out and pop, pop. Pop, pop. I'm thinking of getting one of these for my mom for her purse because she wants something put in her purse that she can have on her just in case. But she doesn't feel safe carrying the revolver in her purse. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't carry it in your purse. Shouldn't carry anything in your purse. But if you're going to carry something in your purse, this would be a good thing to carry because, it's not going to go off. You got to cock it before you fire it. It's single action. It's just a little 2-shot. I'd probably get her the 9mm version. This one's V7 Magnum. Or she can shoot 38 Special out of this. Do you watch WandaVision? Yes, but I have not watched the last episode yet. Missed my super chat, said Josh Benware. Let me go up and see. Josh Benware, are you going to take the vaccine? Which one? Whichever one's available to me. I don't care which one. It ain't been available to me yet. But yes, I do watch WandaVision, but I haven't watched the last one. Put a stuffed dog with tannerite in the front yard if you think cops may visit. I've got some tannerite somewhere. I need to check that shit. I don't know if it expires or if it becomes unsafe. We are out of time. We are out of time. Bigger belt buckles bring you closer to Jesus. I don't want to be close to Jesus. How do I know? I don't know where Jesus has been. I know he works on the yard crew in our old neighborhood, but I don't want to be that close to him. What's this? Hold on. Is this the guy? Okay, all right, everybody. That's our show for today. I'm going to go lay down. So thanks everybody for coming. I do appreciate it. Have we gone a full hour? Because I did start a little late, didn't I? I think we've gone a full hour. We're 1 minute shy. 1 minute. That's enough to answer another question or two if anything comes in. Ghost Shadow, that's what pepper spray is for. I don't know what they're talking about. We got a super chat came in from Robert Kennedy. Far too many people have not been ready for when a good day goes bad. Always carry, never tell. I always carry. I sometimes tell. Someone asks me, especially if it's the 2nd of the month. Like I did actually open carry on the 2nd of this month, and then ended up going to the emergency room. Had to have my son carry my gun out to my car. But other than that, I don't usually tell anybody. It's their business. But all right, we are at an hour now. So I will see. Rest up, wild man. I ain't that wild, that's for sure. I was in my younger years. I mean, there was a lot of more wildness in my 20s and my early 30s than there are now. I'm talking like, and I'm not talking like what some people consider wild. Like I used to go to the bar, and get fucked up, we'd drive our car around town real fast. I mean, no, I mean like porn stars and stuff. So a little wilder than most people got. But thanks everybody for coming. I do appreciate. I didn't always look like this, by the way. Thanks. I appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow, probably about 4:00 p.m. in the afternoon time, Pacific time, because it's Sunday. So if I'm still breathing come that time. So until later, I'll talk to you then.